What's up? We're gonna go live. I'm gonna turn myself in real quick. As to hopefully not get any reverb on this. And pull this up. It's not what I was looking for. It's not what I was looking for. So today we are going to be working on a sketch cover of Venom. Sketch cover of Venom. I need to find a sheet of paper to put underneath my cover. All right, here we go. Good. Should be good. I know this is a late night stream, but I wanted to get to work on this. May have some people join, we may not. If we don't, it's okay. What's up, JC? How you doing? What's up, JC? How you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. So right now, if you're watching the rewind, what I'm doing is I am laying a base outline of the drawing in ink. I start out with a blue colored pencil and do the sketch. That the reason I do that, if you didn't see the first one I did, the blue outline of the blue colored pencil tends to not get as muddy as, say, a regular pencil would when you're coloring, and it just provides a lot more of a tint to your colors. I like using blue just because a lot of the color tonation that you're going to get when doing these, you're going to get blues in the color. So it makes it a lot easier to cover up with your coloring. This is one that I have been looking forward to doing for a while now. I've had this in my back pocket, just kind of waiting on the right time. And I figured, why not? Let me do this real quick. There we go. That should be better. I always forget to mute one camera when I'm playing multiples at a time. So if you were getting reverb or echo, I apologize. Do not mean to do that. The best part about Venom is that I don't have to worry about using a ton of colors except in his tongue, because the majority of Venom is black. So go in here, do a little bit of shadow into his head. We're gonna throw some shade. Oh. And again, I don't really expect a lot of people to be watching this, since it is kind of late, and these things take time. But if I do have somebody jump on, if you're watching the rewind, please make sure to leave a comment. If you like what you see, check out some of the other videos, and if you are so inclined, drop a subscribe. Always love having new people to conversate, talk with. It always makes it a little more fun for me, at least. Alright, so definitely want to leave some area for a little bit of color in here. We're not going to pop a lot of color into Venom just because it really doesn't need a ton. Try to get this a little more in frame here. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pop in some purple, couple of lighter variations of purple, so that when I get ready to add some color, we don't want to use the chisel tip. We'll have some color there that we can kind of play with. Again, I'm not going to add a ton of color in. What's up, Las Cruces? How's it going, my friend? So we are working on a Venom sketch cover right now. This is just one I've kind of wanted to do for a while. I'll show it to you in just a second. Just trying to pop a couple of different colors into the face. Get some color going in there. Not a lot, just to give it a little bit of a pop in some areas. Most of this color is going to kind of be muted anyways. So how are you doing tonight, Las Cruces? Are you doing well? I think I saw where you did you win a prize in one of the lives that you in? I think I saw that. I was watching half out. I'm doing pretty well. I'm tired, but do, doing what I do, most of my best work comes when I'm tired. So I figured I'd give it a shot tonight, see how it went. Um, if it goes well, great. If it doesn't, then this isn't for someone. This is just doing it to do it. Awesome. That's cool. I don't know of many people very much more deserving than you, sir. Um, you're a regular in a lot of people's chats, and I think that's awesome that you won. Well deserved. So just to kind of give you a look at what I've done so far, I'll hold it up. Maybe you can see it. I hope so. I know this camera on my computer is. What's up, Captain Comics Ahoy? How you doing? This is kind of what I got so far. I'll hold it a little closer. Yeah, there we go. You can see it better in this camera. Thanks, Las Cruces. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and pop some shoulder color in here. Give him a little bit of a vein. Or not a vein, a little bit of a... How's it going, Legion? I'm working on a Venom sketch cover. Didn't really have anything in mind for anybody when I was doing this, or when I started to decide to do this. So I figured might as well, right? Yep. Oh man. So I was saying, most of the best work that I do when I'm working comes from being like exhausted to the point where I'm like ready to fall out on the floor. And so I figured, hey, I'm almost at that point now. Let's go ahead and get on and do a live stream and draw while you've got some kind of creative juices going here. Yeah, Mark, we were just telling Las Cruces congratulations for his win on your giveaway tonight. That was really cool. So if you just get in here, this is what I've got so far. And like, this is just a base right now. This is not anywhere, because I've got, like, in my mind, I've got the image of him like just with drool everywhere. So lots of highlights in his skin, lots of slobber, drool, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, if you were looking for like a high octane night night draw or night picture drawing art, then I can't guarantee you this is going to be high octane, but uh, I am going to try to keep you entertained. Normally, I wouldn't be doing it this late because I would have school the next day, and I usually get up around 6:15 for school. So I'm off for spring break, and it gives me a chance to do stuff like this while I've got it on my mind. So I hope everyone is doing well tonight. Um, yeah, let's listen. So, yeah, pretty good size one here. Give them something similar to looking like a collarbone. You don't want a collarless um, venom running around. So yeah, I will add gray tones to this um, just to give it a little more of a realistic and less purpley look. But show you progress in just a second. Get some more of this black in here. If you guys want to drop a comment and let me know that you're awake, watching, that'd be cool. Also, if you have any ideas for covers I should do, you can let me know in the chat. I'm open to pretty much any suggestion. Um, Now, if I want to stay in my house, I have to stay away from the slightly risque covers. But I'm sure you guys understand that. The only thing that I miss about doing lives is being able to kind of listen to music and get me in more of a mood for drawing. Um, I love listening to music while I draw. It helps me focus better. If I have two things going on at one time, I'm able to pay a little more attention to what I'm doing rather than sitting here talking to myself or in my own thoughts. Unfortunately for YouTube, when you do that, you run the risk of getting copyright strikes, and copyright strikes are fun. Everybody loves a good copyright strike. So, is there anybody else in here that's watching right now that likes to draw? I always love to hear people's drawing, um, how they feel that they draw. Like I get kids all the time that'll tell me I can't draw, and then with a little bit of time and work with them, they're slowly starting to realize, oh, I can draw some. Jonathan Michael says he likes to draw. That's awesome. Um, Looking for kind of a lighter gray, something more with a, yeah, there we go, a bluish tone to it. So, Jonathan Michael, what is your favorite thing to draw? Mine, obviously, I love drawing comic characters. Um, my parents, when I was younger, they would try to get me to draw other stuff, and I would always be like, "Well, I don't want to draw that. I want to draw what I want to draw." So I'll give you a little look here. This is what we've got going on now for Venom. I'm getting ready to move into his mouth area. I think I'm going to start off with a lighter colored pink for inside the mouth, just so that when I start to add highlights in, I can go right over top of those. And you're going to see I'm going to work one little bit at a time in the mouth. So I'll start with the outer part of the mouth and work my way in. And guys, I think I've got a good idea for this. Shading is one of my favorite aspects to drawing. Absolutely. I love, especially people that can do it well. I love to watch people shade. Um, like, even like as an art teacher, I am amazed at how well some people can take a pencil and shade pieces of art in. It baffles me. So I love that. Love it when people are able to do that and do it well. And I apologize for this squeaky marker. The joys of using alcohol markers. So, I think now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little red, and also I'm going to go in with, not that color, I'm going to go in with some pink, like a fluorescent pink, and just get kind of right up around the gum lines here. Go in and add some reds. Um, I don't want to add too much red because I still want it to give the appearance that it's wet. liner here. The liner does not want to work well for me. So to give you kind of an update, here we have a little bit more. It's almost like Venom's trying to eat the Secret Wars logo. Alright, let's go more into the mouth here. Now, this is the part where some of the more difficult, I don't know necessarily that I want to use the word difficult, but more intricate shading and color adage is going to come into play. How much does a commission typically run? Well, right now, what I'm doing is I am running like an intro level special, because obviously these are some of my first sketch covers I've done. Typically, to start off with, you're going to run $60. But then as more of my work gets out and I get more and more customers, it'll probably, depending on whether you want it complete black and white or grayscale versus color, will probably raise to about between $80 and $100. And I'm sorry, I just saw that remark, so I apologize I didn't answer that one sooner. If it had been up, that was my fault. But yeah, I don't know if you're asking because you're interested in one, and I don't want to make that assumption. But if you are interested in one, you can always hit me up on Instagram. I'd be happy to talk to you about the possibility of doing one and working something out with you. I'm not a very difficult person to work with as far as you know prices are concerned. I try to keep it affordable for people. Yet at the same time, I don't want to, you know, as much as I love doing art and love doing art for people, obviously can't do it, like for free. I did give one away in my 300 subscriber video, and yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Red. I'm going to pop some maroon into this after I get this red in. Some of these markers smell awful. Nope. That for sure is not maroon. You know what? That was very dumb of me. This is the other side of his mouth there. Finish the top part of his gums and then bottom part underneath his tongue, and I'll give you guys a look at what it's looking like now. All right. So this is where we're at. There we go. See it pretty well right there. What's up, Christina Fuentes? How's it going? Okay. Yes, sir. Throwing some tribute out to my boy Eddie. Love some Venom. And the funny thing is, I used to not really care too much about Venom. Um, it was funny. I just kind of, as I got older, fell a little more into the writing and the writing aspect of Venom, and I think it's a pretty awesome book, or awesome read, I guess you could say. Throw in some darks here. Do you draw lines to separate the upper torso from the shoulders? I've been doing it for years, and for some reason, it's starting to look a little odd. Um, yeah, you know, the way I draw is a little bit different from everybody else, and I know this is going to sound weird, but what I do when I'm drawing, oh, I need to put my glasses on. When I'm drawing, I start with the upper torso, um, because it helps me as far as getting placement in. If I can get that upper torso drawn, then I'm going to have a little bit easier of a time um, getting uh, what's the word I'm looking for? My proportions right. But yeah, I do. I follow all of those rules and guidelines and stuff they tell you to do when you're drawing. As crappy as they are, those rules, they do help in the long run. Giving yourself guidelines to follow is always a smart thing to do. Um, and I hope that I answered your question accordingly. Like I was saying earlier, it's late, and I am at that point where I'm starting to get kind of loopy. So I hope I answered that in a fashion that you kind of got what I was saying. All right, so we'll pull out a couple more pinks and reds just to give myself a little bit of variety here. Um, Put that out there real quick. I guess we can try that. Is this one claimed? No, no. This one, this one was not commissioned by anybody. This one I'm just doing for the fun of it. Okay, Christina, thank you. I'm glad I answered that because, oh man, this is why you don't art and do a live stream late. Sometimes you don't even know what you're saying. Oh wow. It looks like I'm going to be having to get me some new pins and stuff here soon. Have you done any professional comic book artwork for any companies? Um, as a published artist, no. It's a funny story. Um, as a published artist, I have not done any work for any companies as much as I would absolutely love to. Um, Now I have helped, but not published, not at all. And maybe one of these days I'll give I'll give an explanation to that. Um, but I would need to have a discussion with somebody before I could actually give that answer. I know that's kind of cryptic, and I meant it to be. Um, I have a buddy that I helped out, and um, I didn't really get credit for it, or at least not the credit that I would have liked to have gotten. So, sometimes artists, when they get put under a deadline, they'll make some crazy deals that they don't intend to necessarily keep. But I mean, hey, it's just like some of the master painters that were out there that had students under them. They'll you know they'll get their students to do the work. Students get zero credit, and then the artist is coming out looking like a knight in shining armor. No, but I would love to be published. Um, as far as comics are concerned, but the only published work that I have is a kid's book that I worked on for um, for someone, and it's not like a nationally published book. It's just local. So, unfortunately, my answer is no. I have not been published as far as comic books are concerned. Doesn't mean I wouldn't love to. One day, maybe. Just looking back at the chat, see if I missed anything. Okay, gonna go in and add a little bit of gray, not purple. It would help if I had the correct gray out here. Sorry, got to dig in my box again. That'll work. All right, continuing a little bit with my light pink. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of working up and around the tongue um, so that I can add those shadows in as they come. And I go in with my light pink first. That way I can use it for highlights in the tongue. And then I'll go in with my red and maroon and hit some of the shadowed areas, which will kind of build around this light pink. So as I was saying earlier, you may be able to see it on the camera, you may not, but if you can't, I always start out with the blue colored pencil. And I think if you're working on stuff like this, then that blue colored pencil is going to be your best friend. Um, and the reason I say that is because a lot of the times when you're doing colors, that blue is not going to show through necessarily to or through a lot of the colors that you do. Now, obviously, the more opaque of a color or transparent of a color that you use, the more it's going to show through. But then if you color over it with a darker color that's less transparent, then you're not going to see nearly as much of that blue as you would like a regular drawing pencil. So you guys still doing well over out there, hanging in there. I know that it's well, at least here it's late-ish. Um, it's around God, around 12 o'clock. Um, Actually, that is a very good question, Jonathan Michael. His question was, he wonders if the markers make the color wavy or the cover wavy. Um, Actually, no. Believe it or not, the majority of the sketch covers they put out are cardstock that are meant for markers, and they don't make it wavy at all, not in the least. So they're perfect for using alcohol based markers. They're perfect for using. I've even, and you're going to see on this one, I've used paint before, and I'm going to use paint on this one. Um, they stand up pretty well, and that's one reason I love doing sketch covers, is because they are built for the abuse that markers would give a normal type paper, which is great. Have you ever drawn Mortal Kombat characters? I recently got into drawing them. They're very easy to put in dynamic poses. Yes. Um, One of my favorite characters to draw, period, ever, is Scorpion. I started drawing Scorpion when I was in middle school, of all things, and I love to draw Scorpion. So um, they are very easy to do in dynamic poses. I also I used to teach in a high school. Now I teach elementary school, and and I did one year. I had a kid say, "Hey, can you draw a picture of me getting the come over here done to my to me with Scorpion holding my head in his hand like he's ripping my spinal cord out?" And I thought it was like that. I thought that was like the weirdest request ever, but it was fun to draw, and he absolutely loved it. So, so yes, I have drawn Mortal Kombat before. And I'm going to give you guys a show or an update here in a second. I'm just trying to get some more of these darker areas done in, and then I will give you a look at progress, because I believe it or not, feels like we're coming along very well. And that's another thing. I'm never happy with my work when I'm doing it. But then as I get closer to the light at the end of the tunnel, as they would say, I absolutely start to dig what I'm doing. So we're getting there. Who is your favorite character to draw, Christina? From, I guess, from Mortal Kombat. I want to be specific enough. Grab my black. Like drawing Johnny Cage and Nitara. Sub-Zero. Awesome. Now, which Mortal Kombat is Nitara from? Because I don't quite remember who that character is. Now I can tell you on the newer Mortal Kombat's, one of my favorite characters to use is Aaron Black. Um, don't ask me why. I like the idea of the gunslinger character. It fits well, from my opinion, into Mortal Kombat. Deadly Alliance. Oh, okay. All right, are you guys ready for a closer look now? And see, the best thing about alcohol markers, yeah, they do come through the front of the cover, but if you put a piece of paper underneath your cover, it's not going to screw it up or anything. Thanks, Las Cruces. I appreciate that. So here is my question. I'm going to ask you guys for your opinion. So you guys are going to get to have a little bit of a part in this sketch cover. What color do you guys think I should do the background in? Now, keep in mind, I'm going to um, I'm going to kind of keep it blended. I'm going to do two blended colors together, and then I'll add in some paint effects to it. What's up, Geek Out with Roscoe? How's it going? Thank you for stopping in. I was hoping I would see you in this. I am working on a Venom sketch cover. Right now, I'm just kind of throwing in some of the symbiote splashes coming off of his body. Guys, and if you want to know another good artist that you should check out Geek Out with Roscoe. Does some really cool stuff. I was looking at his Instagram page the other day. What's complementary to purple? Hold on, let me think about this. We got yellow, green, blue, blue, violet, violet. Yellow and purple are complements of each other. Yes, Roscoe. This is the cover as it stands so far. Yellow? So you think I should do it yellow? We can do yellow. I think I'm going to also add some orange to it just to give it a little bit more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Two-tone. So it's not all yellow. And I have no clue. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Roscoe, I have a question for you. Have you ever thought about or have you ever streamed a live piece of art? Because you have to remember, I'm new to your channel, and I've not been able to sit down and watch a great deal of content that you put out, just a little bit. So, have you ever streamed streamed yourself doing a? Yeah, yeah. He does have a violator like jaw. Have you ever streamed yourself doing a live piece of art? Because if you have and you do another one, I'd love to sit in and just and watch. Well, dude, you should definitely consider doing one. This is for me. This is relaxing. If you can get over the hump of doing art in front of other people, which I know most artists have this thing where they don't like to draw in front of people, like a crowd watching them. But if you can get over that, man, this is therapy at its best. Awesome. I glanced down at the top of this marker, and I thought it was orange. Um, Lucky for me, it wasn't. It's a little more golden yellow. I call this more of a sunflower yellow. I have colors for all of my, or names for all my colors, because if I if I tried to remember each name, it would be a bad time for us all. Because I'd be sitting here looking at the tops, going, "What color is this again?" This is this is a. I've had people ask me to go live on IG with them, but it's yet happened. Well, look, man. Here's the thing: if you do it, then it gets to be easier and easier. Like my first one, and I just did my first live drawing last Saturday. The first one is the hardest, but once you get into it and you start going and people are interacting with you, it's almost like you lose track of where you are and what you're doing. So this is very, very therapeutic for me. And I think what I'm going to do on this, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cover up. I'm going to do the Spider Man. I'll go back in with a red and hit it up, but um, The fun part of this cover has yet to come. So I gotta ask, do you guys enjoy seeing stuff like this? Um, one of my favorite things to do. I have a couple of Twitchers, uh, Twitch streamers that I watch regularly, and they do art on Twitch. Is this something that's fun for you all? Do you like watching people do art? Roscoe, this is not a commission. This is just something that I wanted to do. Generally, when I do art like this, these are just kind of my free time. I'm doing it just to get on and have a live to do. Um, so no, this is not commissioned by someone else. This is just me with an idea, sitting down at 12 o'clock at night and drawing. That's awesome, Christina. It to me it's fun, and honestly, this is what's the funnest about it. If you do art yourself, you pick up so much good information. Um, Roscoe, I was saying earlier what I'm doing for the first few that I put out. This is my sixth one. Right now, I'm running a special since I'm fairly new to the commission game as far as comic sketch covers are going. My introductory price for a commission one-sided book, that means you get the front cover in color for $60. Now, if you wanted two sides, like the back cover with something on it, then it would obviously be a little more. But right now, I'm running that kind of intro special. Hey, no problem. I wish this orange wasn't as strong as it is, because it makes it super hard to get a blended look in. That one's going to be a little better. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to have this as far off the camera as it was. Like I said, you get so used to working and moving and doing these, and you forget where stuff is on camera. So right now what I'm doing is I'm blending a little more of the orange into the background to give it just a little bit of depth. So I apologize if you hear the squeak of the marker and it gets annoying. I know that squeaky markers tend to get very annoying. Trust me, from a teacher's perspective, oh my goodness, blending markers is a worst nightmare of mine because kids are always like squeaking, squeaking, squeaking. And when I say kids of mine, I mean my students, not my kids. Well, I guess technically they would be my kids, but you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying. All right, I'm going to blend a little more of this up. So it's all about working in layers. If you can work in layers, then you've got this game knocked. You see what I mean about the squeaky markers? I don't know if the camera's picking this up. Well, you know, everybody's new when they first start out. But, you know, there's no better way to get in the game by getting your feet wet. All right. Touching up some of this black where my marker has blended into it. Hey, thank you, Roscoe. Thank you so much. Appreciate you stopping in, saying hello, and hanging for a few. Sorry about that. Yes, sir. We can talk, Roscoe. We can talk. All right. So now I'm going to do some of the fun part. When I say fun part, this is where I get to start adding a little bit of a little bit more of the depth of the character in. I'm going to add some white to this, make him look like he's drooling a bit, because we all know that Venom loves to drool. So let me find my brush. I know that it's floating around in here somewhere. There you are. Okay. So the rest of you, from now, go back to your home and we're going to take some. I'm using matte white paint. It's acrylic paint. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to be adding some droolage to our Venom. So we all know Venom has a sweaty little mouth. All right, Christina, thank you so much. And thank you for coming in and watching. Please, if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification. That way you know when I'm on. I appreciate you stopping in and watching. And thank you for the chat. Oh, drawing on top of non-sketch covers. Um, like doing a remark. Is that what you're talking about, Jonathan Michael? I think you're talking about a remark, and I haven't seen your comment, so I'll hold my answer until I know for sure. Remark cover recreation. Burt Fam Steve had an artist, Austin Ott, on his channel. He does that. Um, I, I've considered it. Um, I've never done it, and I've never done it because I'm always like doing a sketch cover is one thing because it's your work to screw up, if that makes sense. Catch my drift. Um, Working on somebody else's cover terrifies me because I'm so afraid that I'm going to mess it up. But it has definitely been a thought of mine. If that answers the question. This is true. I could always try on the Ollie's books. Like, I've got one Superman cover from Ollie's so many times that it would not hurt my feelings if I screwed one of those up. X-Files. Now, that would be cool. You know what? I haven't even thought about the X-Files. But now that you mention it, that would be kind of cool to do. Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely. So this is what the cover is looking like now. Got to be careful where I put my finger since I've got wet paint on it. I think you got all of that in frame. Yeah, I love doing the drool on Venom. It's always so much fun to do. And then once some of the paint dries, I'm actually going to go back in and do some thinner lines of the drool. I just want to give it a few minutes to just kind of simmer and dry so that I don't run over top of um, any of that I've already done. Let's see here. I think what I'm going to do, since we have a purple and tint and the Venom, is I'm going to go in. Have you ever done a Punisher cover? Actually, the Punisher is on my list to do. I have a Punisher in mind to do for a Punisher cover. I've never done one, but the Punisher is one of those characters that always intrigued me. I love the idea of an anti hero, someone who does heroic things but has a different motive to do those things other than being a hero per se. Um, so I am absolutely in favor of doing a Punisher cover. At one point, I was toying with the idea of doing a split composition for Punisher, and what I had thought about doing was splitting his face in half and doing a comic style um, rendering of the Punisher, and then for the other half of his face, I thought about doing doing like the Thomas Jane Punisher from the first Punisher movie, not Dolph Lundgren Punisher, but the Thomas Jane, I think from the early 2000s, late 90s. I want to say it was, I don't know. When did that movie come out? Seems like forever ago. And watch, it was probably like 2008. Back when John Travolta was still relevant. Thought it was cool. Everybody made such a big deal about John Travolta being in a Marvel movie. Now, I will say this, wasn't the hugest fan of that Punisher movie, but it had a killer soundtrack. I liked the Punisher Warzone movie a lot better. I think it was more graphic though, but see that's what I expect from a Punisher movie. Turn it around here so I can get this S in Spider-Man without running my hand through paint. Sorry, I'm having to focus on getting that in there. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be the fun part. Yeah, he did. I totally agree with that. He has a definite Christopher Lambert feel. Also a look. I mean, Lord, the guy could pass as a Lambert. So what I'm doing here is I am taking a little gel pen, white gel pen, and adding some little detailed lines to the drool. And I will show that in just 1 second. Used to love the Highlander series back in the day. Um, you know, funny thing is, I never really um got too much into Highlander. Now the TV show I loved, and I think a big part of that is because they use Queen as the intro, and um, and I love that because Queen is one of my favorite bands of all time. So I like that aspect of it, but I never really got too much into the Highlander movies. Um, Although I kind of like the first one. The first one was decent. Okay, so you kind of think the same way. TV's not so much the movies. Mm, I'm gonna give you guys an update here in a second. Um, oh, poo. Okay, I just dropped my gel pen in my white paint. Be nice, thank you. Okay. Um, I'm just adding a little bit more of a strong outline to the teeth to make them show up a little better. black underneath this. A couple more outline spots plugged in. I am thrilled to death with how this looks, which is very unusual for me to say. Did you end up finding any books at that place you mentioned in chat? The books were on the floor. I did. If you go to my earlier videos from today, I did a live very early on in the day, showing the books I found. I think I left with around 25 books that I got for very little. The guy was like, you come here all the time. I was like, this is only the first time I've been here. Oh, okay. But I tell you what, intro price. I picked up a TMNT Adventures number 42 with Donatello on the front. Judge Dredd number 1. Some good books, especially for the price that I paid. All right. Hey, that's great. That is so good. And I honestly think that the Grow Together movement is one of the best things to happen to our community in a long time. I love the fact that it's kind of bringing people together. Um, it's showing a new side to our community, and it's giving people new people to watch. And that to me is the funnest part of doing this is just new people. Um, I love having new people to sit down and watch during the week, especially when I see a new video pop up. I'm like, heck yeah. Mm, what's up, Danny? How's it going? I'm working on a sketch cover right now, comic book sketch cover, and having a blast. I'm about to finish it up, at least from this my perspective. Now I'll probably come back to it tomorrow and go, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. I feel you. I feel you, man. That's where I need to be, but right now I am. Um, I'm in a good place where I feel like my artistic side's a little flowy. Oh man. I'm getting ready to show in just 1 second. I'm adding a few more little touches here and there. Um, give me one second and I will let you guys see. Yeah, um, that's something I'm working on. Is trying to get a better perspective for people that are watching. Oh, they're good. They're great. They're both in bed. They've been in bed. So yeah, here we go. This is a Venom sketch cover that I've done. Pretty happy with how it turned out. Thanks, Las Cruces. Man, I didn't even know you were still here. You must have been just listening and lurking. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate that. This is something I enjoy doing. This is one of my passions. Drawing is something I absolutely have the funnest time doing. So, yes, I drew all of this, painted it, colored it, everything. This is 100% my creation. I'm gonna put this down and add a little more yellow to a couple of spots that I needed to touch up before I call it a day. Um, yeah, I drawing is what makes me happy. It's my passion, my pastime, my hobby. I do these. People, people enjoy seeing it, so I continue to do it and hope that it makes people happy seeing me do it. And great, I just threw another. I need to get rid of this piece of paper with paint on it because it is going to ruin my markers. I think that takes care of it. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. Um, well, you know how I know you're into sports cards, and you know how like with sports cards, you have Beckett. With comics, you have a grading service called CGC, and I apologize that I'm talking off of frame, but with CGC, you can do pieces of art and send it to them and get it certified and slabbed just like you would a card. Now with CGC, the cool thing is if you send it in for certification, you can send it in with a video, and the video will actually get you what's called a gold label. And the gold label is a signed copy of your original piece of work. So, like with this, where I'm doing this on camera, if I send this in, it's a verification that I did the work, and they will certify it and put a gold label on it instead of the typical um, label that they would put on it, which is blue. So I am actually in the process of getting my signature certified through. Hey, it's okay. Everybody starts somewhere, and I know that comics aren't everybody's cup of tea, but uh, this is this is my comfort zone. So um, eventually, when this certification stuff works out, I'll be able to have my signature verified through the grading company, and and then when people have a cover done by me, they can send it in. They'll be able to verify with me that I did the work, and they will be able to put a gold label on the cover. I do actually. I want to show you something. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find them. Yeah. Okay. So I think you'll be surprised by this. Um, so I have in my possession some cards from 1913, legit 1913 cards. They're from a set of cards that were put out called the Thomas Barker National Card Set or National Game. And what I have a 1913 Honus Wagner, a 1913 Tris Speaker, and a 1913 Cy Young. So those are three beauties that are going to stay in my collection for a very, very long time. Comicade, how's it going? Yeah, I decided to jump on late live. Um, I was working on a sketch cover. They're actually they're from a collectible baseball card game that came out in 1913. And if you look on PSA's census, there are very few of these that actually exist. Now, they are considered legit baseball cards, and they are very, very hard to find. So, guys, what I've been working on is this custom sketch cover of Venom. And I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm close to being done. I will probably figure out something else that I want or need to do to this, but this is my baby. This is what I've been working on for the last. Thank you, Complicated. I appreciate that. I've been working on this for the last hour and 53 minutes. Started out with this tonight with just the lines. I think Las Cruces has been in here from the get go, just kind of lurking in the shadows. Um, and he's watched this. It started off with nothing but lines. Um, I did the inks, did the coloring, added the paints to it, the whole nine. So I think I am at the point where I'm going to slide this baby back into its backing board, and we have ourselves a custom Spider-Man Renew Your Vows #1 Venom sketch cover done by Chris Moore on April the 8th, 2021. Danny, I'm actually going through my cards as we speak. Not like right this very second. Um, I am going through them, so as soon as I can get my hands on them, I know that I found one today. I will let you know. I got your information, so I'll let you know. Comicade. I do this. I do commission work. Yes. This one was not commissioned by anyone. This one was just one I did for fun because I was bored and looking for something to do. So this one I just did to do. It will be available once I get pictures taken and put it up for sale. Um, Usually, for anybody that's wondering, I do commission work for sketch covers like this, which is one-sided and is colored. I do these for 60. Two-sided colored I do for 80. And then later on, this is my introductory price, but later on, the prices will go up depending on how booked I am. So right now, this book right here would be $60. Or I've got plenty of other sketch covers that you can choose from if you want to. You can message me on Instagram, and I'll give you a list of comics, or I actually have a post that I have some put on as well. So you can check either place. But yeah. Um, Characters, if you want to, just message me and we can discuss it. Um, it just depends on how many you want and the time put into it. This one took me roughly 2 hours to do, um, start to finish. So I guess it all just depends on what you want. But yeah, we can definitely talk. This has got marker, Sharpie pen, alcohol markers, white gel pen, and white matte acrylic paint on it. So I'm super happy with this. This is one rare instance where I'm looking at something I did and I go, I'm so happy with how this turned out. So go figure, right? So yeah, just shoot me a message on Instagram and we can talk. We'll definitely talk. So I think, all right, good hanging out, Danny. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for saying hello. Hope you're doing well. Hope your family's doing well. And take care, my friend. So I think this is where I'm going to call it a night. I'm a little tired, just a little. I think I'm going to end the night watching some Invincible. And thanks, Las Cruces, for being here. Thank you, Jonathan Michael. Thank you, everyone that stopped in. Comic Danny and Grace, Cards and Toys. Um, I know that Christino, thank you all so much for stopping in and hanging out and watching me do this sketch cover. You got to watch me do it live. I'll end it just like I end um, every other session that I do, every other video that I do. Be a blessing to somebody today. But most importantly, I hope that you all are blessed. We'll see you next time.